Time now for our big board. Team of insiders standing by with more of today's top stories. Larry Hackett's right here at the desk with us. We're going to get to your story in a minute, Larry. But first, we have a new clue in that mysterious disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. Australian authorities are now confirming that a flight simulator found in the pilot's home actually had a course plotted through the Indian Ocean where the plane is believed to have landed or crashed. Steve Gaynor, our aviation expert, joins us with more on this right now. And Steve, you've been following this story for a long time. What are they telling you about this? It sure is suspicious.
It is, George. This points to this so-called nightmare scenario, which is that this pilot deliberately planned to fly 239 people into the deepest reaches of the Indian Ocean and that airplane would never be found. So the whole idea that there was some sort of mechanical failure, those theories have not held up. And now that we see that he was actually practicing to fly that airplane into the Indian Ocean, it's another piece of the puzzle that suggests that it was murder-suicide.
Wow, very chilling. Steve, does this have any impact? What does it mean for the search for that wreckage going forward?
Well, the search area has been predetermined, and we're running out of time and we're running out of space. That search area was predicated on the idea that somebody was unconscious, that there was nobody at the controls at the time when the airplane ran out of gas. But this nightmare scenario has the idea that the pilot was actually going to ditch the airplane, did sort of a Sully Sullenberger, landing the airplane on the water. And the idea behind that is that he wanted to minimize wreckage. He wanted to minimize the number of pieces that could be found, thus creating the mystery of never finding this airplane and never understanding why he did it or what he intended to do.
Wow, for all those families who want answers, and we certainly hope they get them. Steve, thanks so much for being with us. And now to some not-so-sunny days on Sesame Street. Bob, Louise, and Gordon are all getting the axe. The three original cast members announcing they will not be returning for the upcoming season of the famous children's show. And now, as you might imagine, accusations of age discrimination are flying. Larry Hackett, former editor-in-chief of People magazine, is here with more. And this is a huge change, and a lot of fans are really upset. This is their first season in HBO. What is the network's explanation for the firings?
Well, they say they're always retooling the show. They say that they're changing the curriculum, and they do this all the time. Bob McGrath, when he announced this back earlier in July, had said he was told that they're trying to make the show more tech-savvy. And I guess Bob and Gordon and Louise don't fit in with that. I think what you're seeing here is people being upset that their childhoods are ending, right? I mean, this is like their childhood house is getting renovated. Bob has been on since 1969.
This was his 45th season.
It's really incredible, and the other two had been on several years later. So I think people who grew up with this show, whether they're themselves or their children, are upset, as they always would be. They're insisting that this has nothing to do with the shift to HBO, and this has nothing to do with the show going from 60 minutes to 30 minutes. It's just part of an evolution of the program.
But I guess those people aren't the audience right now, so will this impact the show?
I don't think so. I think what would impact the show and what remains to be seen, you have to remember, Bob and Louise and Gordon, these characters, Rita Moreno on the show earlier on, this was really a pioneer in, multicultural casting, right? This neighborhood, that street looked like, an inner city street, and the show was, for all kinds of children, disadvantaged children. So I think what people are concerned about not only is their own childhood memories, but whether or not the show maintains that kind of multicultural aspect.
Exactly. And, they've been here. Sesame Street has come to GMA so many times. We have one of our favorite moments. Can we play it?
This is your first time, huh?
Well, I thought it was time to finally meet my hero, George Stephanopoulos. Hey, wait a minute. Stephanopoulos. Snuffleupagus. Hey, we might be related.
Hold on one sec.
I can only hope so.
And none of those lovable characters
Why isn't he on every Friday?
Yeah.
That's a good point. I was actually bummed when he came on because we had met years before and he had forgotten.
I tell you, that's what celebrity does to you.
That's right. Larry, thanks a lot for coming on right now. We're going to move on now to a quarterback that has everyone talking. New England Patriots training camp underway. All eyes on Jimmy Garoppolo. He's set to fill Tom Brady's shoes when Brady serves that Deflategate suspension. Jamel Hill, host of ESPN2's His and Hers, joins us now. How do you think he's going to do?
Well, we'll see. I tell you what, it's never ideal to lose your quarterback, especially one that's like Tom Brady. But if this is a test, Jimmy Garoppolo has the ultimate cheat sheet. I mean, he's got an embarrassment of riches on offense. And, oh, by the way, he just so happens to be coached by maybe the best coach in NFL history. So this is the perfect situation for him to prove himself.
So he's got skills on the field, but a lot of people have been talking about his charisma as well.
Yeah, a lot of people have. They're looking at this as, could he be a Brady 2.0 situation? Look, I know Tom Brady makes it look easy with the chiseled looks, the supermodel wife, the multiple MVPs, multiple Super Bowls, but these are awfully big cleats to fill. So if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, all you're trying to do is not crash the Ferrari.
Mimi, I think you're a little taken with him.
Well, I mean, it's just he's nice to look at, and he's great on the field. So you know what? Good for him. It's nice that someone else gets a shot at it, but Tom Brady's going to be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. I know a lot of people are wondering, I mean, could this be a repeat of when Tom Brady took over for Drew Bledsoe? Yeah. This is a little bit different because Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick basically consider Tom Brady like a son. So I don't think they're ready to replace their favorite son just yet.
All right. Thank you, guys.